I'm going to be talking today about an interesting topic in dream interpretation. Have you ever dreamt that you were walking with a faceless individual in a dream and you wondered who the person might mean? Or have you ever been in a situation whereby you actually tried to ask yourself, are there times where Jesus is there in my dreams and I am unable to identify him? Well, stick around, this video is for that. Do not forget to like and to subscribe for more of our content and more of a content like this one. Bless you. Many times we realize that we actually unable to identify our very Lord when it comes to dreams. Actually, Jesus Christ walks with us in dreams, and many times we are unable to actually detect and to know, hey, this was the Lord with me. Let me give a good example of how to say that Jesus was the one in your dream. Have you ever dreamt that you were walking a long journey with a faceless person and then you wondered who the person was? In the dream, by the time you were dreaming it, you felt like it's a friend or a person you are familiar with. But when you woke up, you realize, hey, I'd never seen such a person and I cannot actually figure out or make out the face that I saw in the dream. Then let me give you good news that was actually Jesus walking with you in a dream. And in many times, many people, whenever they're walking long destinies and then many others are facing mountains during that time of the dream, or maybe someone was saying, hey, I began to saw something strange happening, maybe lions chasing me and then I was walking with this person, or maybe someone saying, we were in a place and then I was walking with this friend of mine. He's a familiar friend, but when I woke up I realized I could not make out the face as to who the person was. And then we were passing, I'm giving an example, a place, and then there was people who were so bigger than me in strength, and then these guys began to actually threaten me and come closer, trying to actually fight me, but they could not because of this individual. That is actually a dream that portrays that it's the Lord Jesus himself who's saying, I'm going to walk with you in this journey. Though it's going to be having challenges, I'm not promising you that things are going to be smooth. It's going to be hard, but I'll be with you on every side. I'll be with you on every step of the way. It's what actually he promises in his word. I'll never leave you nor forsake you. Through the waters I'm with you. That's what he said in the Old Testament. Let's also look at something again. Some people, they see actually angels in dreams but are unaware. But now, that one we're going to be dealing with is a different one. So when you're dealing with Jesus, it's when you're looking at a faceless individual who is actually a male figure in a dream. Not every person who's a faceless person is actually a figure of Jesus in a dream. If it's a woman, sometimes, for example, there's been people who are coming and saying, yeah, I dreamt of this lady as if she was trying to bewitch me or actually the lady was cursing me in a dream. And then she says, but it was a faceless individual. In such instances, God does it whenever he realizes that you are immature and that you have a sensitive heart to take things in heart. So he's protecting your heart from knowing who the person is that has an ill will against your life. But for some other people, Jesus, you realize that he knows that you are actually mature and that you have a strong heart to handle it. And then he begins to reveal people's faces to you in dreams. Like my wife normally, whenever she dreams of people that begin to actually talk a bit, whether in church or anywhere else, she would begin to make out the faces and to say it was so and so. And in many cases, things begin to turn out exactly the same way. It's because she is actually able to easily forgive. So it's also important for you to know, to identify, to say, oh, this is the reason why God hasn't actually been showing me. But many times people, or maybe women, or maybe female friends, or maybe these guys I dreamt of, but they had faceless faces, like unfamiliar. They were familiar, but they had faceless faces in the dream. God is actually protecting your heart because he knows you. So God cannot begin to give you a burden that is beyond your strength. But when you see an individual, this one person who stands by your side to defend you and protect you in dreams, then you are walking with the Lord. At times it can be just a warning dream. At times it can be a prophetic dream. Prophetic dreams, I'm giving just one example because it's a topic on its own. It's when you dream and then you are walking in a long journey with someone, or maybe you realize it was with your best friend. So Jesus is actually showing what concerns your destinies, both of you, that your destinies are linked together when you're walking together. So when it happens that you say with this faceless male figure who's there like a friend to you, then God is saying, hey, I'm with you, I'll be walking with you. The Lord Jesus is assuring you to say, in your destiny, I'll be with you every step of the way. So that is the part for you to know and begin to appreciate as a child of God, to say, hey, God is by my side. So this also happens to people who are unsaved, because that's how the love of God is for us. It's also the same thing that I believe, to say, if it wasn't the will of God, whether you're saved or not, to be alive as far as to this moment, I'm telling you, Guti, if God wasn't willing, you'd be gone. So it shows that all of us, He has a place and a part for us, and there's a God purpose that's set for each of us, and that God actually is willing to show forth His glory to all of us, whether many accept Him, end up accepting Him or not. But Jesus always reaches out and shows His love to His people. That's why I like, both born again or not, there can be that moment once in a while where they dream of that faceless individual. I've had those moments before I got saved, and I have those moments after I am saved. So this is how you actually see that the Lord was with you. At times, it's where you see that it was a bigger brother, a bigger brother beginning to actually protect you, do something in a dream that is actually the Lord Himself being revealed in that dream. Or at times you begin to see, again, the context is important, because sometimes you might think it's a bigger brother, only to find that it's someone that is actually mentoring you. Context matters. Now, you find there's a pastor in a dream. You find your pastor giving you a specific message. And when you look at him in a dream, he has a very heavy presence around him. You look through his eyes, you realize he's actually your pastor, but seems to be more of an authority in the dream, or to take a lot of space of authority in that dream. Then the Lord there is actually revealing that He is the one directly giving you the instructions, using your pastor as an allegory. Your pastor there symbolizes someone who you deem to have a specific higher spiritual position than you, and then is someone that you deem to be actually an overseer of your life. That can represent the Lord Jesus Himself in the dream. So these are some of the things for you to see that special person in a dream and begin to identify him. I trust that this will bless you. Do not forget to like and to subscribe for more of such videos. Shalom.